in the news.
On December 8, 2015, in his continuing efforts to save vanishing species, Pope Francis lit up St. Peter's Basilica with a public art projection entitled Fiat Lux, Illuminating Our Common Home. This event was a significant effort to inspire change around the climate crisis, and to encourage the world to start making an awesome wildlife effort to save vanishing species. On December 23rd, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service officially declared the lion to be an endangered species. In their report, they outlined reasons such as habitat loss, loss of prey, retaliatory killing due to increased human-lion conflicts, inadequate regulatory mechanisms, and weak management of protected areas to be the main causes of their decline. Here at Awe News, we'd like to echo the words of Service Director Dan Ash. The lion is one of the planet's most beloved species and an irreplaceable part of our shared global heritage. If we want to ensure that healthy lion populations continue to roam the African savannas and forests of India, it's up to all of us, not just the people of Africa and India, to take action. On December 3rd, Jenny Ackman from National Geographic reported that Prince Harry visited Kruger National Park in South Africa, one of Africa's largest gaming reserves. Ackman states that the 31-year-old royal spent 3 months over the summer volunteering in wildlife conservation. It's clear that the visit got him fired up about the slaughter of elephants and rhinos, which poachers kill to satisfy demand for ivory and horn. Dereck and Beverly Joubert are award-winning filmmakers who are raising money to airlift 100 endangered white rhinos from areas that are heavily poached to safer havens in Africa. In December 2015, the Jouberts informed Awe News that they were able to safely move an additional 15 endangered white rhino. Here at Awe News, we'd like to thank those who have donated to help us help the Jouberts with this matter. On December 19th, Charles Marsala reported on the dedication of Hernan Cairo's new 16-foot-tall elephant sculpture named Ella. The sculpture, now located in Kenner, Louisiana, aims to educate the public on vanishing species, and to our knowledge, this sculpture is the first of its kind. We'd like to thank all those who came out to this wonderful event and to encourage our viewers to make a donation to help Awe continue to spread awareness of vanishing species. On December 2nd, Coco McPherson with Rolling Stone magazine reported on the release of Louie Psihoyos' new documentary, Racing Extinction, charting how humanity has altered the planet and what we can do to help. McPherson states that the film reveals oceans vacuumed of fish, suffocated by carbon dioxide, a wildlife black market, second only to drug trafficking in value. The filmmaker is also quoted for saying, 500 years from now, nobody is going to care who the President of the United States was. They're going to say, we were the generation who knew what was going on, and if we don't do anything, we won't be forgiven. Today, January 9th, the Mississippi beaches have been reopened for swimming after being closed on December 11th. The Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality closed all their beaches and oyster beds on their Gulf Coast due to an unusually large red tide that appeared in early December. Beaches along the Florida Panhandle were also closed due to the red tide. Although the red tide, or algae bloom, is a naturally occurring event, according to Joe Jewell with the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, we've never had one of this level or this intensity. This is a historic event. In an attempt to find the reason for this unusually large red tide, Charles Marsala from Awe News has been on the case, talking to many people down in Biloxi and Pass Christian, and examining the increase in nitrogen production on farms to see if he can find a connection between this historic algae bloom and the excessive nitrogen in the waters that might be fanning the flame on this particular red tide. The Chesapeake Bay Foundation believes that both nitrogen and phosphorus do in fact feed algae blooms. However, others seem to believe that due to the unusually warmer weather at this time of year, the red tide has been able to flourish, as the cooler weather has shown the red tide receding, allowing for the beaches to reopen. However, the oyster reefs still remain closed, hurting the oyster business for both consumers and suppliers. And as of January 4th, the Florida beaches still remain closed. And according to Mary Beth Griggs from Popular Science magazine, in December, California also experienced an unprecedented toxic algae bloom off their west coast, hurting sea lions and contaminating their seafood, in particular their Dungeness crab, a staple for their seafood culture. The sea lions were discovered to have received brain damage from the toxic red tide, having no sense of which way to go. And finally, on December 12th in New Orleans, Louisiana, the West End Marina hosted its annual Christmas Boat Parade. In conjunction, the Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation hosted their Lights at the Lake family event at the Lighthouse, one of many nonprofits around the globe annually celebrating their continued successful campaigns. Their event raises money for the foundation by selling raffle tickets, food, drinks, and desserts. The Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation has been instrumental in restoring the lake and is now working on coastal issues. This has been Awe News, reporting on all those making an awesome wildlife effort. Tune in next time for In the News.
Subscribe to Awe News. We've interviewed numerous people, artists, legislators, people operating sanctuaries, activists who are working hard to save vanishing species. Get involved.